Hello. So we meet again in Lincoln City again. Here we are on the beach. It's the Oregon Coast Manic tour guide, so I'm assuming you know by now what's going to happen. I arrive in Lincoln City just a ways before sunset, and I make plans with some Portland friends to head out later this evening, maybe even catch the green flash at sunset. I head down to one of my favorite beaches, not far from the inn at Spanish Head, and discover it's changed, and it's got a whole new look. Pretty darn cool. But first, I scarfed down dinner at this rad little Mexican joint called La Roca. Good food, but I had a strange experience there years ago when I wrote something really nice about them in a magazine. Tried to hand them a copy of it, but the guy wouldn't take it, even looked a little scared of the magazine. Hey, whatever. They do have some monster homemade salsas, though. Yum-o-rama. I hit the beach at sunset, and alas, there's no green flash to be had. The sun went down behind a big, mushy chunk of clouds way out on the horizon. Big bummer. This calls for a drink. And then it's time for Drinkin' City's crazy nightlife. Lincoln City. I meet up with my Portland pal Kara, one of my favorite bartenders, and her friend Tyler. We start out at Maxwell's for adventures and karaoke, with plans to later hit a really oddball bar where I've seen plenty of stuff I can't explain. Is that going? And so our intrepid trio finally makes it to our little destination, the Snug Harbor. Snug isn't, that's my big joke. We'll see what happens. Usually all sorts of weirdness ensues in this place. It's my firm opinion this is the weirdest bar in the entire state. Unfortunately, nothing weird happens at Snug Harbor, except for Kara regaling me with tales of monkeys in bars in Tacoma, and monkeys scare the hell out of me. We managed to freak out the locals with a big talk about paranormal and quantum physics, and then we head to this beach later at night and see glowing sand, little tiny phytoplankton that glow. And if that wasn't weird enough, the crusty coastal weather does some trippy tricks to my Wi-Fi connection, and it goes in and out in the wee hours of the night. My little icon says I've got a full connection, but the lack of being able to get online says otherwise. Something in the air here does something weird to your laptop's connection to the world. It's like, talk about mixed signals. Annoying. Makes you want to crawl the walls. If this were the Middle Ages, well, of course, if this were the Middle Ages, they wouldn't have Wi-Fi. But if this was the Middle Ages, and they did have Wi-Fi, they'd be thinking, ooh, there's witchcraft going on. I think I just scared myself a little bit. Being a renowned food snob, or maybe I'm just a legend in my own mind and assume everyone thinks about me in that way. Anyway, being as such, don't tell anyone I ate at Subway. But truth be told, if you need something a little bit healthier and fast, in Lincoln City, Subway is not a bad way to go about it. And it's inexpensive, of course, that can help at times. I may not be Wolfgang Puck doing this, but whatever. You can't be gourmet every minute of the day, right? And then the trippy weather starts. The northern half of Lincoln City is mostly foggy, but just south of the Dee River, which is the dividing line between north and south in Lincoln City, things suddenly clear up. Meanwhile, just offshore, there's a big fog bank that's just trying to come in, and I'm met with intermittent fog on the way down to Depot Bay. Once I get down there, I try to head to Newport, but I get turned back around because there's a huge ODOT project, and I'm in need of coffee bad. Cranky and full of road rage, I luckily find coffee at this nice little place in Depot Bay, and they kind of saved my mood. Not to mention, they've got a twisted little sense of humor I can relate to. Things in Depot Bay are really interesting today. It's a curious mix of fog and sunlight. Right here at the tip of the bay, there's that street lamp that's still going, which sort of gives it a little hint of nighttime. Not much whale watching to be had here today. But that doesn't stop me from visiting the Whale Watch Center in Depot Bay, where you're supposed to, well, watch whales. And it's here where I have an important question for Morris Grover, the head of the center. The big question I have is, if they were zombie whales, what would a zombie whale be like?
They'd eat ghost shrimp.
They eat gulf shrimp.
Ghost shrimp. There's a ghost shrimp.
Ghost shrimp?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
ghost shrimp, okay.
We'd like to get rid of the ghost shrimp, so I think it'd be a good idea. They could come in and eat all the ghost shrimp, and Newport Bay would be much happier.
All right, that was a pretty quick answer. You're pretty quick on the base unit. Then it's time to stop and smell the roses, or rather the seawater of the bay. Inside this bay, there's always something happening. Here we are in the deep recesses beneath Depot Bay. Well, beneath the bridge anyway. It's kind of spooky down here. Might be haunted. Another example of how curious coastal weather can be. Here I am a few hundred feet south of the main part of Depot Bay, just the bridge area where I was just a few minutes ago. And it's totally blue sky, no fog whatsoever. And if you look just off to the north, a few hundred feet away, that's where I was, and there's plenty of fog over there. Strange but true, but that's the Oregon coast for you. I'm here in Newport at this trippy little hidden spot, which I won't reveal the location of, to illustrate what's going on. It's quite foggy down here, but it turns out it's not fog in the usual sense. Now, I talked to Morris at the Whale Watch Center in Depot Bay, and he said it's not so much fog as it is unevaporated ocean air. We've got this big heat wave in the valley right now. It's about 95 to 100 degrees over there. So we've got this huge difference in temperature between the coast and over there. That winds up sucking all this moisture in off the ocean, and it gets sucked inland so fast that it can't evaporate. So what you get is really moist air just flying through, and it appears to be fog. But you can feel it too. It feels rather damp and muggy here. More strange coastal weather facts, huh, kids? That's why you'll see more fog during the summer than at most other times of the year on the coast. Those same temperature differences drive all that fog during the summer. Now, another interesting aspect about today is that a little bit ago on Highway 101, I just passed the temperature sign, and it said 54 degrees. Now, it does not feel like 54 degrees. Like I said earlier, it's rather muggy out here. It definitely feels more like upper 60s, maybe even low 70s. So I'm really kind of curious what's going on there. I'd love to ask my local weather scientist about that one. Coastal weather moves in mysterious ways.